So we're heading into the trial, and I just realized, like, I feel like we're missing a lot here. So there's probably going to be a lot of stuff that gets presented. Like, oh, hang on, let me rephrase that. Once I untangle cords. Oh shit! Actually, hold on. I just realized I can move the mic towards me. That was smart. There we go. Yeah, I'm... Like, I think the main thing I'm missing is, like, the motive here? And if this is the last trial, like, we're gonna have to try and piece that together. Which I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to do. But I will be able to look over everything before I, kind of go through, so... Hopefully I remember everything. Court record. Alright, let's go backwards. A wooden box that had the sacred urn in it has pink paint stains on it. When Adrian dropped the urn's box 2 weeks ago, she also knocked over some paint. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. From Damar's second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. The buzzer went off once at 1:02 AM on October 12th in the CEO's office. Kane's list found on the table at the scene of the crime, with a list of money values attached to the first 4 heists the Master Mask conducted. Connected to the basement security guard office, there are no fingerprints on it. Which, yeah, like, Luke wears gloves, so we already established earlier that, like, he wouldn't leave fingerprints on a thing, so, yeah, that works. Out first heist guard is Rhonda Light. Kane's autopsy report, cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. I still think that's got something to do with the bent, Shichishito. And I actually remembered how to pronounce that without looking at it. Yeah, and I think that's all the new evidence we had. Yeah, so, like, it really seems like Luke, like, in much the same way that Ron was trying to get away from the suspicion over the death of the CEO, I feel like Luke at Me has set up this situation to convict himself of the Master Mask crime to absolve himself from the murder. And I think he was the one that actually did it. Now, of course, we saw his silhouette in Ron's recount, which I'm not sure if... I mean, it's probably Luke. Like, let's be honest. Hey, Diz, how's it going? But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. The thing that I think is going to be hard to prove is, or, like, hard to understand is, like, motive. Like, as far as we know, like, we don't know anything about Luke and his relationship to anyone in, like, the security, KT security, so, like, yeah. Hey, Nick. What is it this time? You wouldn't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it was a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atme's trial today. Detective Atme. They said they're going to try him as Master Mask. Already? That was fast. Interesting. Playing Paper Mario the Origami King. I really want to get to that at some point. I'd love to play the other Paper Marios again before going to do that. I never got through Thousand Year Door either. Boy, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial. I know. What the fuck was that? By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. What the fuck is going on? Ronda's really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me! Oh, right. Oh, Mr. Delight. Good morning. Personally, I really don't have fun with the combat in Origami King, and the humor hasn't been in sync with me. Oh, that's a shame. Hey Charles, how's it going? No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean... You're the murderer? No! I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be... Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him with commit the heists. But the visuals and exploring are really good, enough to get me going. Yeah, I mean, humor tends to be a bit hit and miss depending on the game. It's a hard thing to make appeal to everyone, I feel. Or it takes a lot of talent to make it appeal to everyone. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? Or the murder, Nick? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. No, it's a race against time because Luke is being tried as we speak. I'm afraid that's not an option. Huh? Yeah, if Luke is being tried as Master Mask right now, and that finishes before this case, then... Ugh. It's gonna be a problem for us. Court is now in session for the trial of Rod Delight. Defense is ready, Your Honor. You are ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Ugh, he's got the judge at the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. And that's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case, since apparently the prosecution won't. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kate Bollard, CEO of KB Security. I think I said KT Security earlier. It's just modern Paper Mario tends to rehash the same jokes a little too much. Oh, fair enough. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 AM on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 AM the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. Never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. 17?! How is this man not overdosing on caffeine? Holy fuck! But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? Maybe a bit of a disadvantage hearing the defendant testify, but... Wait, do I actually have a choice here? I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. They actually managed to tie the first episode into something that was going on here. I like that. You've got guts, right? Alright then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. Oh wait, you're already there because when we turned to... You know what, never mind. Forget I said that. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No, 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 no. That's not true.
Remember there, I thought we'd set the record straight for the record for the shortest trial ever.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I...
Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
Visit to KB Security. That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was.
1 AM. Oh, 1 AM, the exact time the murder took place. We get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny.
Oh my god. This man sounds like he's going to just immediately... It feels like he could break into an ad for some, like, roast coffee beans at any given moment. You never know that from the way he's chugging it down.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Okay, this is... That evening, around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Alright. 1 AM, huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow and my internal clock was...
1 AM. It's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure.
Okay, that was kind of good. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters, then?
Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this, or take that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? Well... No, shouldn't we be trying to establish that he was set up for this? If anything, we should probably actually talk more about this. But I am just gonna real quick with some... So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000.
Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder.
Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway.
Oh, is that right?
After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
Important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony.
Yes, sir. Muddy mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway?
The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct?
I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me.
He didn't?
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was Master Mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. What am I supposed to be doing here? You used to be a security chief at KB Security, right? Yes, that's right.
A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? Perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say?
This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Oh god, it's been so long since I played that first episode. I really wish I could remember what we were doing. Well, no, like, I guess the whole thing was actually exposing the truth that happened, what happened with Phoenix, because he was hiding something. So actually, I should probably, yeah. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well...
The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that.
Okay, then I take it, but...
Defendant, please answer the question.
Well, I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves to spend. Or to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough. So I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies, which is something that Gumshoe was telling us about, I think, from memory. Since I was a security team chief,
You stole some data.
and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I'd never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that.
Sure told you.
So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony.
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. You fired me for selling company secrets, but Desiree doesn't know about that. Why would you do something like that? Didn't we already... Well, for Desi's hobby. What else?
Wasting money, huh?
It's not a waste! So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other.
I can't believe it.
This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounded like he was avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. If we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. I see. Yeah, okay. That evening around 1 AM I went to the office. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. I think this is a lie. Hang on a second. Do I actually have evidence that... maybe it's in profiles? Is there any piece of evidence saying that, like, his wife doesn't know he was fired? I mean, I know he says that in his testimony, but... security camera photo, stored, taken by the... Yep. Written with a fountain pen, found in KB Security Building at 1 AM, found in Ron's wallet, striking a pose, found in the shadow of Amy Faye's statue, torn from clothing. Connected to the basement security window. Fingerprints found on the table. Stealing is directed by blackmail letters. planning on streaming past lunch. So I've got probably a max of 2 hours left, because I've got to leave for the afternoon. So, like, probably a good another hour and a half at the very least, but we'll see how the trial goes. I don't really want to, like, stop in the very middle of a trial, so I've got to kind of play it by ear. I guess there isn't. Hang on. We pressed this already, didn't we? This is what were you being blackmailed about? The blackmail letter said if you don't... Yeah, correct it.
Objection!
Whole master thing. Oh. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. Oh, right. Fuck! Godot is just being us. Like, I drew this comparison earlier, but, like, he really is in the position we are in, where he's kind of coming in with the objections to testimony. Fuck. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? Because he admitted that his wife doesn't know about what's going on. The victim had no proof the defendant was Master Mask. But you were the one who stole company's secrets only 1 year earlier. Oh, well, I guess there's that. But that was all over with once I was fired. But it is true that the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data. I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever become public knowledge. Yes, he would. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright? What are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. Maya, what the fuck does that mean? Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo? Yes. Now, come on. Provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Let me save real quick. Why would Mr. Delight want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? That would be his wife. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. Oh. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. What? But Listen to me. My Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. That certainly would line up, and that is how this murder came about. Oh! No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or you'll be sorry! Ron? Well, it seems we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data from his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. And suddenly I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, if I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I hadn't been wearing that?
I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony.
Funny that.
He said that Master Mars struck him on the head from behind.
Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie.
No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that.
What are you saying? I really was attacked.
We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination.
Got that, Mr. Trite. Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. Please don't throw porcelain at me. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly I was hit on the forehead. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. That? Could you please clarify what you are referring to? Why, my Master Mask costume, of course. Why would you wear that? Well, okay, hang on. Oh, why the fuck would you wear that into KB security? Like, I guess it's just, like, it would keep his identity from other people, but the person he was going to meet, because presumably they're the same person that blackmailed him to begin with, so they would know that he's been stealing shit. I guess that makes sense. Why, my Master Mask costume, of course.
Wait just a moment.
Master Mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. I can't fucking believe this. What? Nick, did you know about this? You never told me this. So this is why there's a lot we don't know about this, because this was meant to happen, where it's like, oh fuck, there are a lot of details we just didn't know. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either.
Oh, even I didn't know that.
Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just...
My sixth cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony.
I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Master Mask costume. Why? Why were you dressed up as Master Mask? Why? Because I'm Master Mask, of course.
What are you talking about? Master Mask's trial is being held next door.
Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time... You know what's the fucked up part? Is that, like, Luke Atme can actually... assuming Luke is the one who actually orchestrated this entire thing, he would actually be the perfect person to be tried as Master Mask, because he can just admit to everything, spell out how he did literally everything, and get a guilty verdict very fucking quickly. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. Right, so I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Yeah, so it's not ambiguous, it's not, like, yeah, other people don't see him and then find out it was a thing, yeah. That kind of makes sense. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I'd expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? Wait and see how this develops. Hey, why aren't you doing anything? This will probably end up causing more trouble. I'll tackle it once I'm mentally prepared. Guess I should prepare myself for the worst too. Oh, okay, so he's not... hang on. Alright. He's not gonna... Yeah, he's not gonna move on with it by himself. I have to kind of push him towards it. What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My key got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. Of course that's how this piece of information is revealed to the court. Oh, what was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. Oh. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? Huh. So you're not as stupid as you look. Could make some comments there. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well... yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Because you're the one who's meant to preside over this without prior... You know what? It doesn't matter. Oh, hey, Pancakes. How's it going? Long time no see. How you doing? Witness, make sure you add this to your testimony. Yes, sir. We're in the middle of, like, a really complex case right now, so... You know, just heads up, spoilers and whatnot. So apparently they made an anime for it. I think they have in the past. Apparently it's not very good, from what I hear. But no, this game's going well. Like, I'm in the third game of the trilogy. This is the second case of the third game, so, like... I've been soldiering on. Against all fucking odds in some cases. But yeah, no, these games are really damn good. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Huh. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. Huh. I think you had a simpler reason than that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. Certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! I'm glad you two know, because I don't know where this is going. Hey, Nick, if you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. Fucking what? I mean, that's gotta be the buzzer record, right? We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we? There's not much in this testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. Wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated. Oh, but okay, sorry, I follow now. So, we know that we know that someone hit the button, right? It went off at 1:02 in the morning. If Ron had pressed that, why would he spend so long trying to do that and potentially getting caught? Now, of course, turns out it was a good thing that Larry was on duty that day, but yeah, that doesn't actually make sense. If the button got pressed and he was the only one in the room, or he was the one that pressed it, he wouldn't spend 10 minutes doing that. He'd fucking zoom out of the room. Hell yeah. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record?
And what might this be?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects to the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 AM.
What?
Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer. He would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Huh. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building.
He was the security chief here, dude! Fuck off! Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
But, as it turns out, the guard never came.
That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
This buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So what you're trying to say...
Mr. Delight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Rondelite and then pressed the buzzer. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Have you ever played Professor Layton? I haven't, but I have heard good things about it to some extent. It's not something that's, like, immediately on my playlist of things to do, or things to get to, but, like, it's an option. It's a bit more abstract puzzle, which might be a bit more my speed, but then again, this kind of game is also my speed now, so, yeah.
Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is... This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him.
Okay, not only was he hit over the head once and killed, but Ron would have known that the buzzer went off then.
He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
Ah! No, he was... Wasn't he killed with one fucking cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head? Oh, okay, I guess that doesn't quite rule it out. Well, no, but there were no fingerprints on the button.
So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't Kane Bullard that... Yes, I can prove it. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. No fingerprints. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
Now I'm the one who's clueless.
This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. Spit take, hell yeah.
Ron Delight obviously wiped them off.
Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button. I know he did.
The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask, who has gloves. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints?
Order, order, order! It would seem...
I don't know if I like this music as much as the one in the first game. I don't know, I'm actually digging it. I'm not gonna lie.
I would force to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger?
Phoenix.
What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 AM. Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed? Security was supposed to respond.
Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's see what you have to say.
Very well then. I'm gonna save it for the save real quick.
You've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
To call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Because they wanted to frame Ron.
Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes. Although, as it turns out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in.
Oh my god, Godot, you're really bad at this. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer, whose silhouette is not at all distinctive enough to tell who it was.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder.
Hold on 1 second. Excuse me? Order, order, order! It would seem... I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. It's almost like he, planned that. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait. Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mars. Nick, you mean the real killer is... I'm going to drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So, the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's see your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
Oh shit, he was earlier in the list than I thought. Detective Luke Atme. He's the one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Luke Atme? You mean... Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Capital crime subject? What? Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as, well, Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. And that was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lord Lee Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict as an alibi? Which is a really, really great fucking concept for a case. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atme's verdict. It's a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atme's trial was indeed attracted the attention of the entire country, who were to intrude and failed to provide adequate proof of his true crime. Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? I say, saving the game real quick. That's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice. It sounded like... Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Alright, we actually got through that pretty quickly, so I might be able to do more of this case than I thought. Oh god. Well, Sir Detective Atme. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme, you were the one who...
That's enough.
Oh god.
That's enough.
This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atme... Objection! Hold it! Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this? Oh no. Who's this Ozuri? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. Also, what the fuck is wrong with his eyes? Jesus Christ. And I wish to file an accusation against this man. Look at me. Accusation? You accuse Master Mask? That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Wow, the remaster messed up his eyes. Yeah, like, I'm guessing it's supposed to be, like, a surprised face, but, like, ooh, God, that looks haunting. Oh, it's fucked up. Alright, fuck it. We're gonna try and plow through. Because I could finish this before the end of my time, which would be great, because I don't want to, like, start a court case, start the second part of the trial tomorrow, and then have another case to go on. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then, she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that the detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof, but he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill King Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. That's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. And I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask? Indeed. It's true. Truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. I wonder if it's gonna come up the fact that he couldn't possibly wear Master Mask's mask with that nose. Like, I figured there was some kind of like, his nose is long because he's a fucking liar and shit. Like, I thought that was honestly it. But now that I think about it, I don't think he could have worn the mask if his nose... who the fuck knows? Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. Hold up. Isn't the Tear of Eminon like a blue diamond? Oh, right. The blackmail letter said something about a red diamond. And then there was the newspaper article where the blue diamond had been stolen. Okay. So the red diamond is something different. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are in fact a Master Mask. Of course. Very well then, Luke Atme. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 AM, King Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks? Now, I am really curious to see how Godot plays this now.
Alright, Mr. Atme, the night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. The alibi. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene.
Everything else up until now is all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. I get to cross-examine you, you piece of shit. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. Oh my god, don't become Francisco. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Okay, yeah, clearly we're gonna have to contend with the photo. Stealing the urn as just it would, I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains no words, but in my case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? Correct.
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Lee Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lord Lee Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. That's not true.
I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. Oh, okay, maybe we can't go full force on the camera just yet, or onto the photo just yet. So this alibi is false? Has to be, or he wouldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Still in the owner's Master Mask, just as I announced I would. So this photograph is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a... Oh, and the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I am called Master Mask. But conveniently, that also means that there is no way to tell who this really is.
What do you mean?
Objection!
Huh. Are you saying that this is not in fact Luke Atme? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi?
Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? I don't think there's anyone else that would help him. Oh, there is one person that has so far not come up in this much, who has given us time, who has given us the time it takes to get from building to building. Don't know if that's solid enough to go with, though. The captain was at KB Security during the murder. The Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice? Right now, I have no idea who it was. There is one other person that could have access to that costume. Fuck. Oh my god. That would be so fucked up. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what that guy wants. There's got to be another way. I'm going to find it. Well, not time to it was a pathetically easy job. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. Well, that's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. And that would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to seal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick. Isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atney was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. That's true. You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. Huh. The photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out leaving a witness. I guess I should press this just for posterity. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here. Is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Cain Bullard. Unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? Oh. No, there is. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place, and there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? His face. This. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain! Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. Peach-colored at that. Not gonna make the joke. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is, when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Got you sweating, motherfucker. Well, Mr. Wright? What is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? The statue. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue shouldn't have been there. Oh, should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue in the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move at that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? I mean, it has to be Luke, right? The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atney. Oh, come now, Sir Loyal. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. Oh, that is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue is where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretend to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? Shit, I should have saved. Fuck, I thought we were really going with, like, the Shichishito for a second. I don't actually... Okay, think. Why does the... Fuck, I wish I could... Shit, I can't even back out or anything right now. Fuck, I really wish I could read that again. Is it the box? Take that! The lie is Master Mask. Are you saying that this Master Mask is a fake? Huh. You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Master Mask's identity? Oh, buggers. Yeah. I'm gonna save it here, just to be sure. Fuck. Your face has "oh buggers" written all over it. That's a penalty for you. Yeah. I'll ask you again, Mr. Trite. Just where in this photo... Oh, it doesn't go through enough of the dialogue. Fuck. I mean, it's here, isn't it? The lies in this photo is found somewhere. Jumping to conclusions again. I think you need to take a gander in it. As the Yiddish proverb goes, a half-truth is a whole lie. Keep lying like this and you'll be the one on trial. Fuck. I remember having difficulty with this in 2 playthroughs. He says, "oh, buggers" written all over it. There's a penalty for you. Yep. Oh. Take that! Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I should have gotten onto that. I had the idea that, no, the timestamp has to be fucking fake. So it was like, what's the line? I'm like... Not the thing I thought of, clearly. I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KP Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was the statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on a time when he was going to kill the victim, and so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Fuck. Oh, wow, I didn't actually think of that. He didn't actually fake the timestamp, he just did it at the same time before the statue had arrived in the room. That's good. Fuck, I completely missed that. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah, so, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to. Where it wasn't supposed to be. Fuck, maybe the Shichishido wasn't the murder weapon then. Because, like, I had thought that, like, yeah, no, shit, that might not actually line up. Oh, no, I guess he could have moved it. So I had an assumption that the Shichishido is the murder weapon. But we know now that or at least at this point, we're considering that the statue was moved on the night that this occurred because Luke had taken the photo earlier, and if the statue was in the place it should have been, it would have exposed the fact that the photo was fake. So he moves the statue at some point. I don't think that completely rules out the idea that he could have used the Shichishido, but I guess I was presuming that something else had happened with the statue and he had taken it, but like he couldn't put the Shichishido back in the statue, so he moved it out of the way, but then he left it at the crime scene anyway, I guess, which he accounted for. So like, yeah, that wouldn't actually make sense. And I mean, I guess he could have still used it as the murder weapon to, like, make it seem like it had realistic damage, so, like, I might still stick with that theory, but... And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. God. Order! Order! Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. Yeah, it was probably you moving the statue. That... Fuck! Oh my god! That explains that whole thing. Because if he went in and out, there would have been 2 photos, but there weren't. Right? So... the one photo that was taken that night was him moving the thing out of the way. Oh my god. I wonder if he took... Oh man, that would explain a lot actually. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Well, there's that too. We could have pointed that out a bit earlier, but... Order, order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Spit take. Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put down that coffee. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point. So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied. Which is... that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? There's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it.
Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
I first received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and Svari, it was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave.
Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time?
Svari.
I'm going to take that as okay. Well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Sacred Urn Heist. I first received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Svari. It was sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Nick, if this photo was a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. Huh. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. Need to take a good hard look at the court record. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. When Adrian dropped the urn's box 2 weeks ago, she also knocked over some paint. Yeah, this is probably what it's got to do with. So the paint stains existed when he took the photo, which means that the box should also have the paint on it. Not a lot to go on, is there? The detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination, that he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Right then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly, that he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. First received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Svari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Shouldn't you have seen Andrew's... ...2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight? Alright, let's press everything. And see if I can get any more information. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed. It seemed that they have heard of my sparkling reputation.
I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out. You better watch out too, Maya.
The urn was placed in the box.
Yeah. You mean this box?
Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn, and she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh. Interesting new tidbit. As I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingertips. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent the thing. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. I then handled security by making sure it was myself. Then no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. Oh, fuck, I'm actually kind of stuck here. Okay, let's go through the evidence again. Poster for the treasure, I mean... Yeah, I guess when he says he didn't see it himself, like, it's not just, haha, you would have seen it, it was a poster. Although, I guess... So... The urn arrives. Andrews breaks it. And she has to repair it, but doesn't let anyone see it. So until Luke presumably opened the box, no one knew that she had broken the urn. Which means he shouldn't have been able to recognize that it was the right urn, right? Because it looked different to the poster? Like, if he was able to correctly identify that the urn was that urn, then he must have seen it after it was broken and repaired, right? Contradict here. First received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and so I was unable to... Yep. And then I handled security by myself. At last I held the urn in my hands for the first time. Press this again? And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would be matter terribly. Hey Nick, if this photo was a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. Might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and... yeah. Alright, I'm gonna give that a shot. I'm gonna say that he couldn't have known... Yeah, I guess the logic here is that, hey, you shouldn't have known that that was actually the urn unless you saw it after it was broken. And we have the photo that proves that, like, you could have seen the urn after it was broken. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. No. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
not sure I follow you. Clearly it contradicts the... fuck. Okay, maybe not. I could present the urn itself. No. First received a request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Zvari. It was then sent to the warehouse, hence I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure. Oh, sorry. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. Off once at around 1 AM on the night of the crime. Knocked out. Taken by the camera on the night of the crime. Written with a fountain pen, found in Ron's room, wallet, card, publicity photo, brooch, time of death, first heist, buzzer, Ron's testimony. Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight. When Adrian dropped the urn's box 2 weeks ago, she also knocked over some paint. A wooden box that had the sacred urn in it has paint stain. No, I didn't think so. Your Honor, what the statement? I don't. Yeah, fuck it. I'll read this text again. This is a photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey Nick, if this photo is a fake, Detective Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. Oh, I see what she's saying. Like, right. Like, he actually took the urn earlier than he's saying. Like, the urn was actually stolen, like, long before. And he left the box outside as evidence that, oh no, it's been taken. This was taken, that's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Wooden box that had the sacred urn in it has pink paint stains on it. Like, that's the only other thing I can think of, is the fact that the box doesn't have the paint stains on it. But, like, you could just orient it in a... Well, actually, no, you probably couldn't orient it in a way that, would hide the stains, because you could potentially break the thing. And I do bring up the photo in that statement when I press it too, so maybe that's it? Damn it. What else is there? Throw the Magatama at him, he's lying. I tried the poster. Carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime. Moved again that night.
Sent before a heist. Everyone's top secret. To the security at Lordly Taylor, I will be coming to Purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasure of Karain exhibit. Take good care of the speckled urn, won't... Oh! Speckled urn! Go fuck yourself. There we go. Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? The urn would not have had paint on it. He shouldn't have known the urn had paint on it before he sold it if what he was saying is true. Yeah. But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. Huh. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. Okay, maybe it's my particular dislike of how Adrian has been portrayed in the previous game, but I really don't like that the game is taking every opportunity to be like, oh wow, Andrew's clumsy, eh? Wow, what an uncoordinated human being. Whew, wouldn't want to be her. Like, fucking, you had a character in the game, like, bully her about the fact she was fucking suicidal, then made her just forgive him because, oh, well, I guess I broke out of it. I'm never gonna get over that, I'm sorry. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Ugh, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Oh, sorry. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick? I think it's still a little early for a victory pose? Huh? Huh. That's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? Ah, yes. We made a decision yesterday. We should never change our minds on that given the evidence presented. Thanks, Godot. Great point. Oh my god, the fucking judge. That's a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atney was the one who killed Cain Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? Oh, okay, that could have been cleared up with commas, but sure, that makes sense. Nick, he's getting his second wind. If you prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rhonda Light as you say, you must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Rhonda Light. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Excuse me?
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, sir, old-timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. I, Luke Attorney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harboured a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What? That was written by... That was for Luke. That was for Luke. That blackmail letter references a red diamond, but the only red diamond you received, quote unquote, and Luke is wearing the red diamond in question. Oh, fuck. Bullard found out about Luke and what he was doing. Oh, shit. So when he got the letter, he... How the hell did he get that into Ron Delight's room? What the fuck?
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
I, Luke Atney, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Bullshit. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight, and it was again Mr. Bullard who harboured a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. If you don't want your true identity revealed to the world, come to KB Security at 1 AM on October 12th and bring 50 grand. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Can I just go for the throat here? And who in the world is going to prove that?
I will. After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atney and Cain Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work? They were both involved in security. No. Well, that was blunt.
In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask.
Yeah.
Mistook. That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error. That wasn't what I meant.
Just who did the victim mistake Mr. Master to be?
Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that? Starting. Hang on a second.
Objection!
Oh my god, my mic's been muted that whole time. Fuck me. Oh. Hang on, how long was that? That was like, okay, that was like 9 minutes. Fuck me. Oh god. Oh no. Fuck. This case was going so well too, and I managed to... That really pisses me off. Oh my god. Sorry, I don't know how long I was getting super duper angry with this game. No, it's all good. Oh, that sucks. Oh my... Hang on a second. You know what? I want to really quickly, like, zoom through the, zoom through the VOD, because I want to see, like, what exactly was kind of muted. Because I want... Because, yeah, like, I got a phone call, and then I didn't, I didn't undo the mute. Fuck me, I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. It's all in the report. Hang on, I gotta find the point in the Old Norse Mistaka. Boy, I can wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defense? Take a look at this newspaper. Oh, so the entire thing about the article... Oh, fuck. There was the whole... I had the whole revelation about the ring on his finger, too, in that bit. Okay, well, yeah, like, I figured out that, like, there was something there when, I figured out that there was something to do with that ring on his finger, because, like, that seems, would have warned earlier. It's all good. It's not your fault. Like, I should be a bit better with that, honestly. Like, having streamed for so fucking long. But yeah, there wasn't too much to it. It's just this last little bit that was kind of, I guess, skipped over. So I figured out that there was something up with, the ring on his finger, because it wasn't there in the paper clipping, but it, he was obviously wearing it, and the blackmail letter kind of points to that. But I was wrong, because the actual contradiction there is that the thing that Master Mask stole was the blue diamond, not the red one. But I guess there's also a kind of hint there where the ring isn't on Luke Atmey's left hand in the article, but it is. But he obviously has it now. Fuck. God damn it. In that case, let's see some hot bit of evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? The article. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. I mean, they don't call him Luke Atmey for nothing. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. Tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atmey. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight. What the... Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud! Trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why, you... How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean... I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why you? How dare you even dare you imply? Oh god, we're having an old bag moment. Well, there he goes. It's enough to make one laugh. It would seem we've finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme. Oh my god, what now? Damn it, Godot, I don't have that much time left. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. Ugh. You don't get much more in your face than that. It appears that your claws weren't quite as sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't a Lordly Tailor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull... But... There's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No. No way! Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright? This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atme was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But can you really prove that? That's long enough. Mr. Trite, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, and the defense... can't prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. I don't know if that's actually the right answer, though. But, if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? You've forgotten? Luke Atme is here after we interrupted his own trial. You piece of shit! And you've failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as Master Mask. No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... By then, it'll be too late. Huh? Why? Atme will be found guilty as Master Mask and... yeah, double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy? Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes, guilty as Master Mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kate Bullard is concerned. No way! The fact that you are unable to prove Mr. Atme's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kate Bullard's murderer. Wait, is that it? Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atme, will go free.
You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today, and as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections?
Phoenix?
And I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atme.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was... Is this Francisca? Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often masks mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice? No way. Oh. Oh no, it was Mia. Fuck. Okay. I thought that was Francisca for a second, but no, it makes more sense than it's Mia. Oh my god, that was stupid. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia? Well, to be fair, if they were going to reintroduce Francisca, it would have been with a whip crack, so... This is the true power of the Korean channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Maya. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine... Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Strange how long it took for this to happen. Well, no, it's because it usually happens in, like, the darkest of the dark moments. Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I'm the ace detective as well as Master Mask. My verdict will verify that, just as Rondelites will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Yes, but those comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing.
Oh, Sir Lawyer, looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, look at...
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then, Mr. Luke Atme. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declare the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. I should have, like, the reason that I leaped to Francisca, by the way, is because there haven't been too many instances of a woman saying objection. And despite the fact that the first episode of this had Mia in it, the thing I jumped to was Francisca. I guess because I was... like, that had been, like, grounded to my head for an entire game, basically. Yeah, I was confused for a second as well. Yeah, like, and there might actually not be that much difference between the two voices. I'd have to go back and listen, honestly. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. It was I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. We've been over this. It doesn't make sense for that to be... In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Zvari. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. His testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. We literally contradicted the majority of that. Fuck off.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me.
And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Grr. You're going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer. I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Cannot postpone Luke Atney's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec. Just one chance?
Seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it.
Sweats nervously.
I should have been counting the coffees. Damn it.
Cup number 17. The last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
Can't believe I forgot about Zvari. Yeah, I mean, he shouts it every 5 minutes. It was true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. You knew about the date beforehand? My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he has no prints, and the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the... You knew about the date. You shouldn't have known about the date. That's bullshit. Oh, no, wait a minute, no. No, you couldn't have known... No, you could not have known that, If what you're saying is true and you weren't the one being blackmailed, you wouldn't have known about the date that, Bullard would have called Ron to the thing. So it's this. Mr. Atney, about this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
What?
I said this before. There's still one thing you haven't proven. This scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night. And now, it's time for me to drink my last cup.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck off. Oh. But that is that's not... Fuck. I feel like the game actually kind of misled me there. So, it asked me to point out a contradictory statement, but then fucking Godot's like, oh no, we're talking about this specific thing, dumbass. Like, Fucking okay. That wasn't established before. Okay. I had known about the day beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My real introduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Therefore, all the evidence points to that boy. So I have to point out... Could you have known about that? Because that was in his wallet. I don't think... You had to have been there to see that, I think. Oh my god, are you fucking for real? I said this before, there's still one thing you haven't proven. That this scum was in Kane Bullard's office that night, and now... Brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light. Thanks to the keycard wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also like, I have to find a piece of, I have to find something in this statement that proves he was there that night. Was able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Buzzer, which only sounded once. How do you know it only sounded...
Objection!
I've lost the plot here. I don't know what it's asking me to do. Like, hey, Phoenix, that you don't have to present evidence to actually say something's a contradiction. You just have to press the statement that'll prove it. And then Godot's like, no, you have to prove that he was in the fucking office. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Rhonda Light, and thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. In the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. We haven't used this yet. Fuck. Oh my god, I really don't want to trip up here. Like, I have to stop soon, but I don't want to leave this here. Like, my only other option is just press everything and, like, reset, but it doesn't let me do that very quickly. The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. That's fucking trash. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. Oh. Yeah, okay, I did it. How did he know he went there in the fucking costume? Fuck off. Mr. Atme, about this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot.
What?
Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry? Whatever do you mean?
For some reason I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare.
Huh. Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up till now.
Luke wasn't in the room when that was presented.
That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. Ah! You were in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask, so then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one? Oh, only one? One way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
Just what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible!
Surprise! Detective Atme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing.
Oh god, he's powering up.
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one. Oh, are we doing this again? Really? Here I am, the tragic clown.
That's the same line you gave yesterday.
But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. Yeah, okay. The court will erupt.
What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight, and upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth.
Excuse me.
Okay, perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. And besmirching him with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me!
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict.
I know, you never committed any murder.
Oh, that's right. I'm so glad you understand that. But I really am Master Mask.
Huh?
So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Maya? As the defendant says, the double jeopardy rule is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. For now?
Now then, this court finds the defendant.
That's how he gets a happy ending, is because he can't be tried for that shit. Boy, this really is lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. See, the thing is, I still have Master Mask. I like the idea that he was getting drowned out by the crowd in the fucking courtroom. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Kurain channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye. Right. Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Ah, Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Delight.
Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this... Come on! Just be happy already. Maya. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But, in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her.
You mean your wife, Desiree?
She hates criminals more than anything.
Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by robbers. By some robbers, wasn't she? I'm gonna save right here, because it feels like we're gonna be coming up against a, hey, you can prove one last thing.
She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but... Once I got fired from KB Security, I lost all the money I had. She wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure.
So, that's why you became Master Mask?
Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true. Well, at least when it comes to urns.
That's not true, right, Nick?
Right.
Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can? I kinda wish you would have checked with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there is always a way to put it back together.
Am I just being baited into... Look, we fixed this urn. We haven't used this yet. Oh, God. you, Mr. Wright, for trying to cheer me up. You don't have to put on a brave face just for me, huh? I think I'm going to go off by myself and talk things over for a while. Wait, Mr. Delight! Okay, maybe that was wrong. Shit. She was, yeah, broken bowl back together, can't be put... I mean, I could just give him the urn. Do I just show him the urn? Fuck. The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. Oh, actually, yeah, that's true. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have anything to worry about. Oh, you don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are! Mr. Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? Yeah, she also doesn't show anger, so she's just, when you think it's just a metaphor. Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought, oh yeah, funny, yeah, fucking, that's real funny, Maya. I'll show him the urn we put back together and that'll do it. Oh fuck, wait a minute. Yeah, Mr. Light also doesn't show sadness or anything. She, like, threatened us, or threatened someone while she was, like, perfectly smiling. So, like, don't know what the read on this is going to be at the moment. You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi? Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Are we really doing this again? Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man... No, you've got to... Okay, seriously? This is on the level of Francisco, this is on the level of the Francisca's whip thing getting old. And they've managed to burn it out in the space of an episode. Oh my god. So just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Ron said the broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together, even better than before. Yeah, never mind the paint splotches or anything like that, it's... Next episode is one of my least favorite. I just really don't like that bit. Like, I already don't like that bit, but they're doing a similar thing, to how they, wore out Francisca's bit, right? Because she's got the whip, which is fine. But then there's a bit in the last case where, like, legitimately for 5 to 10 seconds straight, she just whips the shit out of Gumshoe, and it's like... Like, Francisca's a great character, but holy fuck does that end up grinding my gears. And they've managed to do the same with well, I have a, like, lower threshold for that kind of, or a smaller threshold for that kind of thing with Pearl, because that particular kind of, like, nudging Phoenix and Maya together, like, they're supposed to, like, like they're a couple, and trying to, like, seeming to, like, at least incorporate that into Pearl's story, but using it as an excuse to do it even more is... Also, is that guy wearing a scouter? Damn, that was a really great case. And perfect timing, because I need to go. So, I'm going to quickly save the game. And, I'm going to be off. Recipe for turnabout. So I'll be playing this tomorrow. You know, thing permitting. Sundays happen to be the worst for me. I still haven't decided what I'm going to be doing during the week. I think I might actually take a break from 14 because, like, at this point I'm getting into stuff that's, like, really grindy, and I feel like I want to get to a specific spot where I can be like, okay, I can knock out, like, a bunch of different storylines, queue up for stuff, and, like, I want to try and organize that a bit better before I tackle it again. There is a game I could play soon. I'm taking a break from 14 as well. Well, I mean, I'm not taking, like, an extended break. I'm still going to be grinding and whatnot. I'm just not going to be doing it on the stream. Depending on whether I think about purchasing a specific game that's coming out soon, I may play that instead of 14 and do a fair bit of it because I really want to play it. It's unfortunate that I didn't get to play a certain game before it because it's like a sort of sequel to it. But play the game this is supposedly a follow-up to again, because I wanted to remind myself and just because I wanted to play through it on a really tough difficulty, but it'll have to wait. Do you happen to own a Switch? I do, but yeah. Anyway, sorry, I got to wrap this up real quick. So, yeah, more Ace Attorney tomorrow, episode 3. Then the week is up in the air, but I'm going to figure it out. There's probably going to still be more Hades, but I'm probably going to take a step back from 14 to organize shit. And hopefully something new. So, yeah. Right. So, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.